All right, I'm going to run through a quick tutorial for how to set up a match and track it using the TennisTracker app. To begin, you'll come in here and you'll select who you are tracking for. This is your player. And then who the opponent is for your player. So in this case, let's just say that it is Novak against Carlos, and Carlos is my player. So everything stats related will be from Carlos's perspective later on. I will update the UTR of each player depending on what it is on the day of the match, and this will allow me to see things in the future tied to UTR, although this is optional. I'll add the match date. So let's say it's February 3rd. Who serves first? You can change this later too. So this is a placeholder for now. And then let's say this is best of 5 tiebreak sets. And then you choose your tracking style. I recommend using advanced shot tracking. This will allow you to get shot-by-shot analytics. But if you just want a very simple review, you can use the simple outcome only. All right, so let's get going. So here is the match tracker view. And all you have to do is tap where the ball lands after every shot. So if that's the serve, Carlos is serving right now, as indicated by the dot by him. If we found out that Novak was actually serving first, we can switch the server. Now Novak is serving instead. If we want to switch their sides, click the switch sides button. Now Novak's serving from down here. So Novak's serving first against Carlos. All I have to do is tap where serve lands. If it lands out on the first serve, I can just tap out. Click undo if that was wrong. If it lands in the net, I can tap the net. Click undo if that's not the case, or I can just tap false if I missed it, or that's easier for me. So let's play this out. I'm going to click where the serve landed. He hit a first serve here. Carlos hit a return down the line. They had a backhand to backhand rally. And then Novak went for a big backhand down the line. Carlos missed it in the net. I'm going to say that this was a forced error. So if you're not quite sure how to classify this, we have a little info here. But a forced error is basically when pressure is being applied to the other player. It is a bit subjective, but you think that they were pressured into making this error, whereas unforced error is a routine shot that they should have made. So let's say that this was a forced error that Carlos made. And they're going to select what the shot type was of the forced error that Carlos made. So he was hitting a forehand. He was running all the way out there, so he was kind of chipping or slicing at it to get it back. So I'm going to select those two options as a shot type. And now when I review later on, it's going to have tagged this error Carlos made as a forehand slice. Then it's going to ask for the shot type prior to the forced error. So this was a backhand that Djokovic hit, and he did not approach the net. It wasn't a passing shot. It wasn't a slice. It was just a drive. So we're going to click confirm. Now the score is updated. Novak's up 15-love, and we can continue going. So that was a forced error, and you'll notice that after the mistake was made, it immediately popped up with the screen and knew that Carlos had lost the point. So let's say that a similar point happens here. Novak rips a backhand down the line, but it's a winner. If it is a winner, then instead of it automatically knowing that it's a winner, we have to click on the name of the player who won the point. So Novak won the point. These options are disabled because Novak made his last shot. And so we select winner. And he hit a backhand down the line. What was the shot before Novak hit the backhand down the line from Carlos? Carlos hit a backhand cross court. And we click confirm. The last option here is if you completely missed the point or you missed a handful of points, it happens. You can just catch up by clicking who won the point, just score, no tracking, just score. Oh, there are a couple of points here. I missed the whole game actually. Just gonna click just score, and then we get to the end of the game. So I've just gone through how the tracking works for a game. Once you get through the first game and every odd game thereafter, there will be a little changeover pop-up that looks like this. This changeover pop-up will basically just point you towards doing one of two things or both of them. The first is reviewing the analytics thus far in the match. I click share match link. It will generate a live link for this match that I can copy, and then I can share with anyone at home who's not present at the match, or even someone who is present at the match that wants to keep up with the analytics for the match live time. The stats on that live page will update every 30 seconds, so you can keep up with the score and all the analytics as the match progresses. All right, let's pop back to the match. The only two other things on here worth calling out are you've got the undo and redo buttons, of course. You have the fault button we mentioned earlier, but the main button to get out and do anything else that you might want to do is the home. So from here, you can switch sides that the players are on. You can switch who is serving at any point. It won't change the score. You just switch the server, and you can review the analytics from the match so far. As I mentioned, this is what the coach might be able to check out. You can see an overview section. You can click through all the points that happened during the match. See serve, return placement, serve percentage, win percent. All sorts of interesting analyses that you can do are on that page. We'll do another video later on walking through how someone might approach analyzing a match in the review section. Then you've got resume, which just takes you back to the match. Pause and finish take you out of the match back to your matches list. You can see we paused this match, so we can just click continue tracking to go back to it. We can also review the analytics, and we have the option to share the match link at any point from our matches page. There's also going to be an eyeball icon, so if you want to see how many people have opened up or viewed the match you've shared, that is depicted to the left of the shareable link. And that's it for tracking. We will jump into the fun stuff of how to analyze a match, see your trends over time, use the AI analysis feature, and review analytics from a match in more detail in the next video.